We wrote press releases whenever we were out and about, promoting ourselves at events, such as giving out samples of porridge at the train station as part of our crowdfunding campaign, or when we were having an open day. We received a lot of support through local alternative lifestyle magazine Reconnect, and periodically had free editorial space. In March 2018, when snow brought Devon to a standstill, we phoned BBC Devon to highlight how local micro-bakers were still baking bread for their villages, and that having a bag of flour in the cupboard made you more resilient. Some foods were running low, particularly in the supermarkets, but having a local flour mill and bakers increased the town's resilience. We managed to get on air with BBC Devon, as they liked the angle of our story. One of the principal ways of reaching our audience was to engage them at events, everything from our porridge jousting event as part of our crowdfunding effort to creative open days at the processing unit. We engaged other local businesses such as storytellers and caterers. We used keywords such as oats, flour, farming and Devon on our blogs, and recipes on the news section of our website. Here is a video of Emily making her mug loaf. Our links with local businesses were numerous and varied and brought considerable added value to the enterprise and the wider local economy. Examples include: we teamed up with local sign maker and designer Mel Milne, who made our beautiful Grown in Totnes sign to hang outside the Grown in Totnes processing unit on the Totnes industrial estate using local timber. You can see the mastery in her work in this video. The New Line Brewery, who at some point made beer with every single one of our crops, oats for our initial crowdfunding campaign, and einkorn to make a heritage beer, sold at the Oxford Real Farming Conference in partnership with John Letts, who provided us with the heritage population wheat. Beer was made with spelt and even peas. These opportunities gave us something new and novel to talk about through social media and in our newsletters. The novelty and limited editions helped generate connections with new audiences and customers. The Almond Thief Artisan Bakery made a porridge loaf for our oat-themed crowdfunding campaign. Other businesses blogged about us. For example, Manna from Devon Cookery School and local food caterers The Kitchen Table, mainly via social media. We wrote various news articles for the website to inform our supporters and customers of our new products and promotional events, and opportunities for volunteering at the processing unit. The back catalogue of our articles can be found here. The links we made with the local business community were wide and varied, and the range is captured in this diagram. Our favourite food festival was the Totnes Forking Local Food Festival, which was in complete alignment with our principles, with stallholders only selling ingredients sourced within a 30-mile radius of Totnes. If a caterer was selling goods made with multiple ingredients, 70% had to be sourced locally. We teamed up with the local artisan baker, the Almond Thief, who baked bread for us to sell, demonstrating the truly local loaf, the only bread that met the criteria for the festival. They also provided the bread for other caterers at the festival. One year we had a stall at the Totnes Christmas markets. Sales were surprisingly high considering the context, but only when the weather stayed dry. We also tried our luck at the monthly Totnes Good Food Market and the annual Dartington Food Festival. We were asked to speak about Grown in Totnes at various events and conferences, including the local Green Party, the UK Grain Labs Conference, the Oxford Real Farming Conference, and further afield, an annual food festival in Bologna, and the European Cereals Diversity Festival in Denmark. These provided great networking opportunities and affirmed the work that we were doing by giving us a sense of how Grown in Totnes was part of a growing movement around the production and processing of small-scale crops. We piggybacked on various local groups' events, such as Transition Town Totneses and Open Farm Sunday. We sold our products in the majority of Totnes's independent food stores, and further afield, when we could find creative ways of getting them to the retail outlets. See Chapter 7 Distribution section. We also sold to a number of wholesale customers, bakers and restaurants, that bought from us in bulk rather than pre-packed bags. Our most concentrated period of running events was during our month-long crowdfunding campaign, when we ran 24 events in 31 days. We laid on a series of events for our customers, including open days on the farms that were growing crops for us. We had a launch party when we moved into our processing unit on Totnes's industrial estate, and laid on food cooked by our catering neighbours, the kitchen table, with a local storyteller relating old milling tales. We tried to run a joint milling and baking workshop with our catering neighbours, the kitchen table. Unfortunately, we didn't get sufficient bookings to run this course, maybe because we set our price too high, and as people could volunteer with us for free, they could get milling experience that way. We were featured in a couple of films and held film screenings of these. 100 Miles and Two Mouths was a film about local food and the challenges of eating a diet sourced solely within 100 miles. In Our Hands was a film made on behalf of the Land Workers Alliance to be used as a political lobbying tool. It focused on the quiet revolution that is taking place in our food and farming community in the UK. We attended a delicious banquet laid on by a number of Bristol restaurants. The Pony and Trap, Birch, River Cottage, Della and Poco collaborated in order to raise awareness among invited members of the food industry of some of the challenges around local food. The banquet sourced ingredients from many of the various producers that featured in the film. They made loaves of bread from our wheat flour and oatcakes from our oatmeal for the cheese course.